NCRP Productions presents New Dallas, an Alien RPG campaign series podcast. Episode 13. Hello and welcome to Alien New Dallas. This is Barry, your game master. I'm going to have everyone introduce themselves and let's get started.
Hello, this is Josh. I am playing company man Lance Bateman.
Hello, this is David, and I'm playing Colonial Marine Alister Richter.
Hi, it's Sequoia, and I'm running Dr. Elizabeth Langtree.
Hey everybody, it's Pedro. I'm playing Colonial Marshal Cole Bloodhound Baird.
So last episode, we got a little bit more into the day-to-day life. Everyone is slowly, very slowly, stepping into the things they're going to do. In the case of Dr. Langtree, you got a small amount of sleep, more than any of the other three characters, and were woken by Vita Kumari, who is Dr. Vita Kumari, who is the person who's the head of the facility that you are taking over. You found out that she is sick with something that is forcing her to return to the soul system that is not allowing her to stay here, something that has to be done. She doesn't know if she'll return. She lets you know that she was born and raised here and very much wants to see this colony succeed. She gave you a lot of information about potentially why it wouldn't. And now she is currently taking you on a tour of the facility, not in the same way Rose did, but getting the actual mechanics and background for everything. Lance Bateman, you had a much shorter sleep in the office of the Assistant Chief Deputy of the Marshals. That is Miss Talbot, or Deputy Talbot. And awoken by her, you got kind of unceremoniously brought out.
I'm going to need my own quarters, it seems.
In talking with Cole, you are set presently to try and figure out what your next step is. It's actually, time-wise, we're off from each other a little bit. You're a couple hours behind where Dr. Langtree is, but you were heading out of there with the intention of at least starting to find a place to stay for tonight, since you probably are not going to get to stay at the marshal's office again. We had Cole Baird, who's also a couple hours behind Dr. Langtree in time right now, and you had just gotten a short message from your very estranged daughter. No return address on it, but she wished you well here, and this is the first time you've heard from her in a while, and the biggest calm for your heart is she looks good, she looks healthy, she didn't sound stressed.
She looks just like her mom, too.
There you go. And you are currently, you have sloughed some of the paperwork that the assistant chief left you, and you are set to start into whatever you're going to do for your next part of the duties. Which leaves us with Sargent Rictor, who finally got more than a couple of minutes sleep, but woke up, got his crew together, added Staff Sergeant Biggs to the team, who's apparently, he was told, been on this island before and has dealt with some of the indigenous creatures from the island. You have flown in. Your objective, find your private from your squad, Private Perkins, who just happens to be the son of Major Perkins, who is one of the leaders of the USCMC base that you're working at. You guys have dropped in right near the crash site for the shuttle. You guys have set up a repeater with the intent to try and triangulate the signal from the personal data transmitter, or the PDT, from Perkins, which you have found there is some kind of interference on the island here, but that interference you're starting to figure out through the repeater and through the dropship how to work against it. You guys are also following a motion tracker that Navarro has. Navarro has shown you that the tracker seems to be on the fritz as well. Again, probably not malfunctioning machinery, but probably either some kind of interference from the island or its environs, or possibly the cats themselves. But you do believe that they are the cats that he's seeing move. And at this point, as you guys kind of eyes up, Staff Sergeant Biggs, who's with the crew, and your squad currently also includes Brooks, the man replacing the position for Perkins. He comes back into view and holds his hand up, and we will start right there. So, Richter, he's got his hands up. He looks at you. He holds up in front of his hand, or holds up in front of him, 2 fingers, points in the direction that he's believing they are, and then looks back, and then pulls his hand down, and then looks back to you for orders.
Okay, so he's basically saying that there's 2 something.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
The helmets, I do not envision the helmets being some ridiculous piece of machinery where you talk quietly and it's blared out there like some kind of loudspeaker. If you're talking quiet and under your breath, not necessarily sub-vocalized, but under your breath, the chances that it's going to clear the helmet for sound is minimal. So you believe you can talk in low tones.
I'll just whisper, keep moving towards Perkins. We'll be on alert.
Okay. So the staff sergeant who's had your eye the whole time nods his head.
I'm convinced that the cats, they're going to be curious to a point, They're going to watch. They're going to want to, see what's going on. They may not attack, but they may follow us around a bit, and that's okay. We'll just cross the bridge when we get to it if we need to, exchange.
Very good. So you guys continue heading with Navarro in the lead. The only sound other than your walking and that bit of movement from and it's not that much or that loud that I just made, but that bit of movement as the blades of grass touch against each other. The only other noise is that periodic beep from Navarro's motion sensor.
All right.
Presently, it is doing a single scan beep, but it is running long, not because it's fritzing like it was last time, but because it's hitting more than one object. So, when you moved last time, you were moving towards the oil rig. You are now currently moving to your left, facing the oil rig. So you're moving in the direction that you guys unloaded from the shuttle. You guys start going down a slow slope, and Navarro keeps speaking into the helmet comm. He says, "We got 3. We got 2."
Yeah. We'll let the cat circle all they want.
Yep. And they don't seem to be coming closer. He's not panicked about it.
I think they're just curious.
As you start making your way down, Biggs comes back into full view for you, looks at you and puts up 3 fingers, points again, and then moves back to his position. For whatever reason, he's not talking, but he's making certain that you know exactly what he's got going on. You guys start making your way down the slope, and Navarro this time holds his hand up, and everybody stops. Navarro says, "Sarge, we've got 6, and they appear to be moving from, well, it looks like offshore, but they are definitely moving at us, and quickly, like they're running." So Biggs, for the first time since you guys basically landed, actually speaks and says, "That is probably Sagarins."
Sagarins?
All right, that's what I told you guys they were. Sagarins, Sagarins. He says it is Sagarins, but that is the creatures from the water.
Okay. Oh.
The people-faced dolphins?
Yep, the people-faced dolphins.
I need one of those.
They're
Pick one of those up for me.
Offshore, so they're in the water.
That's what Navarro has said.
Yes.
Okay, I was thinking offshore, like they were coming off the shore.
Include that in
Right,
your
so
report.
offshore means not on land yet, but what he's telling you is they're moving towards you guys, and you guys are absolutely
Ew.
onshore. So
That's
if they keep
disgusting.
moving this
So-
way, they should move on.
Do we need to be worried about these Sagarins?
He said,
Brooks.
the majority of our encounters when we initially got here were not friendly, but curious. They didn't come towards us, and if we brandished anything in their direction, a fist, a bottle, a newspaper, they immediately disappear and disperse. Over the last 6 to 8 weeks, something is definitely working them up. Now, something that you're going to know, or that you're going to assume, Biggs has not read your report. Okay? Whether you want to tell him anything, that's up to you. But there's no reason he would know that. So as he's saying this to you, pieces of information you have, he doesn't have. He says, they can be a problem. There have been 2 incidents where somebody has been attacked by them. They have a razor-sharp back fin. I don't know what they call it, but it runs down the middle of their back, and then their back legs, he says, they basically have a fused pair of legs that they can move very quickly with. but the toes, you can see he doesn't really know the terms to give you. He goes,
by a toe.
Yeah, but he says, but the toes on those, if they turn quickly, he says they can slash through our armor.
Are these the things that they got Navarro, right? Am I remembering that correctly?
They attacked Coombs.
Coombs, that's who it was.
Yep.
Well, we'll be on alert. And if we need to engage, we will. But our mission is to,
Coombs kind of pipes and he says, "Sarge, that's the ones in the water inside the rig, right?"
Yeah.
Same thing.
Maybe just stay focused. We need to get to Perkins.
Biggs at this point stops. He's not moving as everyone's kind of doing their slow moves. He says, "What do you mean in the rig?" And he is not as quiet.
Right. Stay focused. Let's get to Perkins. That's the mission.
You can see that he's not happy about it, but he says, "Yes, Sergeant," right. And he turns around and keeps moving.
Keep going.
So as you guys are moving, Navarro's like, "Okay, they're 300 kilometers, 250, 200.
You just keep giving us those sit reps, and we'll just
Yep, and he keeps it up, and he's keeping it up now because you got two sets. You've got what you guys are assuming are the cats, and you got these things. So Navarro stops. He holds his hands up. He says, "Sarge, they're 10." I'm saying kilometers. I meant meters. He says, "Sarge, they're 10."
Very different.
They're 300 kilometers out. Everyone get worried. They'll be here in at least 2 hours. So he says, "Sarge, they're 10 meters away and closing."
If they're 10 meters, can we see them?
No. Well, no. You know that you're not going to be able to see them until about 6 meters. He says, but Sarge, we're on land. Biggs goes,
"Ew.
How fast are they moving?" And Navarro's saying they got to be going like 20 miles an hour. And at this point, like, all of your Marines are getting nervous. They're all weapons up, and they're moving into position to fire forward.
How far away are we from the signal?
Right now, you're about 50 meters from the signal.
Okay, we're gonna move to the signal. Right.
You tell them that?
Stay alert. We're gonna move to the signal.
All right.
And we're gonna continue to be Marines.
So they continue moving. You can now see everybody's heads on a swivel, and everybody's nerves are up. Not stressed, but everyone's nerves
each
are
other.
up.
We move forward as a team.
And Navarro's like, they're right. And then he stops for a moment, and you can hear his tank on the machine. He goes, "Son of a bitch, I didn't even think about this. Sarge, they're under us. They're under the island. There must be a cave or something."
Okay, well, we need to keep moving towards the signal.
All right, so you guys are still moving.
We need to keep moving.
He says, "All right." He says the cats are gone. They just went. And he says, "Okay, and he seems weird. He's like, "We're here." And immediately, like, all the Marines that are there are, looking around, looking up. He goes, "Sarge, I think he's in a cave. I think he's under the island."
We don't know where that cave is.
Right. So you guys are standing there. Everyone, I'm sure, kind of gloms in around Navarro, and he's showing you on the thing. He's like, and you're watching the ones that he said were like, they're 10 meters away, they're 5 meters away. You can see they've moved in, and they're all in one clump, about 100 meters, not directly back the way you came, but in the general direction the way you guys just came.
So I need to call the drop ship and ask for aerial recon of some type of cave entrance or something, some kind of subterranean entrance, because the signal that we're tracking isn't above ground. It's somehow moved below ground, along with any potentially indigenous species.
I got you, Sergeant. We're making a sweep right now. And so you guys are waiting. It's moments. They come back. Sarge, don't see anything that looks like a mound or a hillside. Maybe something that comes off water. Are you guys equipped to go for a swim?
Nope. All right, so we're gonna have to go and get the proper gear to do the aquatic. We're gonna need an aquatic vehicle.
So he says, "Sarge, you and your men, you're about 100 meters from the shore. Meet us there. We're dropping now."
I mean, 100 meters from the shore. We're not on land?
Oh, you're on land. You're 100 meters from the shoreline.
From the shoreline?
Yep.
Okay, gotcha. Okay,
beach. You want the beach? You're 100 meters from the beach.
Okay, 100 meters. Okay.
All right. So you guys move there. The dropship is landing, And he tells you, he says, we've got gear for going in if you need it. You can unpack it here.
We still don't know if there's an entrance in the water. It's just, I mean, how much water are we looking at? How big's the body of water?
Well, you're on that ocean. You're here.
They can't do any kind of sensor sweep that will allow them, some kind of topography of the bed of the ocean floor or anything.
Yeah, actually, he tells you. He says, I can't guarantee you there's something down there. He says, but the structure along the side there definitely suggests there is a reasonable chance you've got caves down there, and they shouldn't be more than 20 feet deep.
All right, we're gonna suit up.
All right. So we're gonna let you guys suit up. We'll step away from you, Lance Bateman. You've stepped outside the police station or the marshal's station. Do you flag down a cab? What are you gonna do?
I had talked my way into a marshal escort.
Oh, that's right. You got driven there. I forgot about that.
I don't walk.
That would be
across town
Kenji. So Kenji gets you in the car. He goes to open the back door for you, and just as he's reaching for it, you can see he thinks better of it and opens up the front door for you, holds it back to let you in.
I will nod to him and sit down inside the vehicle.
So he
Put
goes
my
around.
briefcase on my lap.
Yep, he goes around and he says, well, sir, where am I taking?
Was that hotel that I was at previously? Is that the only hotel in the colony, or is that among the nicer ones?
As you ask him, he says, well, that's definitely one of the nicer ones. I mean, anybody that's coming in through the spaceport is going to go over there.
We'll head back that way.
Unless they're military.
That sounds good, yeah.
Okay.
So we'll return there.
So he takes you over there. He waits as you unload your briefcase.
Yeah.
And you walk in. So as you come in, now it's open. You are used to plush.
Right.
You are used to the extreme side of things. This is clean, crisp, no frills.
Ugh.
As you come in, there's a single person there, and we're talking less concierge Disney type desk and more of the
Right.
kind of operator sitting at the front who's doing 11 things, including answering the phone and washing the windows and maybe even running the back laundry. But again, crisp and clean.
Okay.
And yes, sir, can I help?
So I'll walk in with my sunglasses and take my briefcase, say, "Good morning, sir, madam." And I'll set it on the table, pop it open, take out my pen, my gold-plated pen, and a series of pages that turn out to be like an executive's custom contract, which it has like all the legalese already pre-built in, but some lines to fill in the terms. So I'll start writing and say, "I am Lance Bateman, executive of the Seegson company. I will be opening a charge account with your establishment here. Payment remitted on the first of every month. I'll be needing your top floor executive suite, please. I will pay for any amenities or extras that are required of me, incidentals as we call them. And if I need supply delivery, would I arrange that through you, or is there a third party on site to handle those sorts of things?"
And do you finally look up?
Yeah.
So the person who's sitting at the desk is just staring at you, mouth open, just kind of when you ask that, finally says, just a moment, and starts clacking on the keys, and you can hear the whir as it's doing its check and run. I'm sorry, it was Bartman?
Bateman. Lance Bateman.
Mr. Bateman. Mr. Bateman. I am so sorry. Did you have a reservation?
No, I'm here to open up a expense account for a permanent establishment while we transition into our more long-term offices here.
Can you wait just a moment? Give me just a moment. He gets up. He walks towards the white wall, pushes a button on the white wall where a door opens, which, had you looked a little harder, you probably would have seen it, but on the initial look, you didn't see the door.
No, I was just
he steps
filling in my
in.
terms. Yeah.
It is a count of 10. He steps out, and behind him is a very smartly dressed woman. She comes out. She sits down. He stands behind her. Then he stands behind her. Then he moves to her side. Then he stands behind her again, and then he realizes that he's useless and he's gonna get in trouble is his thought, and you see him kind of disappear, kind of look around the area, and then go into the door that he opened to let her out.
Right.
But as she comes out, she says, Mr. Bateman, hello. So we were not aware that you were coming, and the top floor suite is currently occupied. I believe they have it for the next 6 days, but I can certainly get it for you at that point. May I possibly set up for you 2 adjoining rooms on the floor below?
That's unfortunate, but I suppose that will do.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. And you said we're opening a charge, and she's going to ask for information.
Yeah. Can I roll manipulation to benefit in that way, in some way?
Yes. Well, here's my question: are you putting it on creating it as your own charge account or a Seegson charge account?
Yeah, it's a Seegson charge account. I don't want to pay for it.
All right. Well, no, that's why I was asking. So, yes, you are absolutely going to roll a manipulation with her.
Yeah, no, I don't want to pay for it. That's the whole point. Yeah. I mean, jeez. I'm here for Seegson, not for
What
my
are you, a
own
rube?
Uh-oh.
Possibly a rube.
I'm gonna need to push that one.
Okay.
At fear of being a rube, I shall push.
So as you're realizing that you didn't bring everything you needed and may be in
I'm
trouble,
gonna push that one again.
do you have that ability?
Yes.
You have no successes yet?
No, I got one. So far.
Okay.
I'm just not getting a very
You can
convincing.
express it each time you push.
Yes.
Oh yeah, but his ability allows him to push twice.
These dice are cursed.
You were talking a little big for your britches.
So
I've achieved 2.
2. So you go back and forth. It's 30 minutes, and normally it would be 2 minutes whether you were accepted or not. But she apologizes for the fact that, we're out on the fringe, which is a place that you really have never been. We're out on the fringe, we're in one of the colonies. It's going through, and she knows her shit, or else she fakes it really well. She explains to you how they're going through this repeater, and then it goes through this, and tie back to the headquarters. And as she's blathering, getting into the 30-minute mark, she says, oh, all right, here it is. She says, oh, all right. Well, so this is coming down from Seegson Corporate. This is VP Schlegman.
Oh no.
So and she looks absolutely aghast as she's saying it. She says, I am so sorry. What apparently we have for you is one of our economy rooms here on this level, but it is fully functional, and I assure you we keep it at the same level as any room in our establishment.
I should hope so.
And you could see that she is just distraught. She doesn't know how to respond to what she's reading here. She says, she just kind of looks at it. She says to you, would you like 2 key cards? She's lost.
I will take 3, thank you.
Very, very good. She's setting those up, and she brings. I've got to ask. Do you have a vehicle?
No, actually.
She says, very good. She'll hand you up the writing pad, and she'll say, so the first one you're going to sign an initial where marked, and then she tells you each of them. As you're going through it, and I know you know how to do this, so you're comfortable doing it. While you're doing that, very quietly under her breath, give me an observation roll.
I know, kind of stressed out. I'm pushing my wits rolls.
To no avail. To economy room.
1 alien and 1 success.
All right, so you're too stressed. Go ahead and give me a panic roll.
2 and 3 is fine.
Perfect. So as you're kind of signing the stuff and she's handing up the cards, she's like, God damn, who did he screw up with? But it's very quiet, but it's just enough perceptible for you that you catch it. And you can see that she's stuck between your expectations, her ability to accommodate those expectations, and probably her desire to get a great review from you, right? So she has all of this going on as she's doing things. So she's falling all over herself to tell you how great the room is. And as she's, amidst everything else, and as she's done signing everything, she says, Mr. Bateman, do you have any luggage?
That's exactly what I was referring to when I mentioned earlier supply delivery.
Ah, yes. Well, I can absolutely have Herbert take care of that for you. No problem. You let him know what you need.
Very well. I'll hand her a list that I already made.
Oh, very good. And she pushes a button. Herbert, would you come up front, please? And the door, like he was standing there waiting for it, the door goes whoosh, and he walks out. And, yes, ma'am. And she hands the list. You will be requisitioning these at your earliest convenience for Mr. Bateman. Mr. Bateman, would you like everything delivered to your room?
Yes, thank you. That would be
very good. If you are not in, do you give Herbert the ability to step into your room to place the items?
Certainly.
Very good, very good. Herbert, go. And so she says, if you'll follow me, sir. Now, you guys start making a walk to the right. There's a beautiful set of stairs that goes up and expands up the second area. At the second area, you can see all kinds of nice potted plants. You walk right past the stair entrance. You go to a door. She pushes the card across and says, to get in, you'll need to put your card here. She opens the door. As you go down the hallway, which has a crisscross pattern rug, the first door there, she pushes the card into it and opens it, and yours is right here. Easy access.
I'm picturing like those Japanese hotel rooms where it's like a tube.
Not that bad.
Okay, so
as the door opens, immediately flick, the lights come on. And
I'll walk in, check it out.
Okay, it's got two wonderfully apportioned twin beds. There is your standard screen, which gives you access to almost anything that you would normally need. You've got two bedside tables with two lamps. You'll have one extra small section that you normally wouldn't have in a hotel room in here. And that is in addition to your bathroom and your basically garment
Not a
room.
great room to grow a corporate empire from.
I
guess I'll take it.
Your last room has a small fridge, a small cook plate, and a small table with 3 chairs to sit around.
I shall sit in one of those chairs.
She says,
Place
if
my
there is
briefcase on the table.
anything that I can get you, please don't hesitate to call the front desk. It's 19 on your in-service phone.
Thank you.
Mr. Bateman, I hope you have a wonderful day and a successful time here on New Dallas.
It can't get much worse than this.
So she heads out, and as you're sitting there, there is a notice that comes up, or your screen comes up with the little boom. God.
Insufficient funds.
So, do you answer?
I suppose.
Do you?
Okay. So, as you answer,
I was gonna say the 4th chair is only in the executive suite.
There is no 4th chair.
There's no 4th chair. You have 5
Can
chairs.
I get a 4th chair?
no, you did not get a 4th chair.
Steal it from another room.
So, as you push the button to receive the incoming, the woman who is there on the screen, beautiful woman, you know her well. It is Elaine Corrigan, the VP of Elgar Plastics. She says, Lance, I didn't realize that you were already here, late as usual.
Elaine, good to see you again.
Yes. We should meet for drinks.
Sure, I'd like that. Just getting settled in here.
Oh, that's wonderful. Well, I realize it's not on the top floor, so should I meet you 1 floor down?
I don't know that there are any floors below this one.
Nice recovery, Bateman.
You actually stop her with that. She gives a light chuckle. She says, then in the lobby, possibly? 10 minutes?
That sounds quite fine.
Very good. I will see you in the lobby in 10 minutes.
Not like 8:30.
No. He got there at 9:30. So
It's 9:30.
It'll be closing on 10 o'clock.
They're gonna go get drinks at 9:30.
They're corporate.
We're getting Bloody Marys.
All right. So, Cole, for you are in the office at this point. You are starting to get things set. You're actually going through setting up your office. You're going through the files. Did you go already to evidence? I apologize, I didn't talk about that.
We didn't go over that yet. Yeah, I would have
and appropriate what you needed.
Yeah, and I would wait until, such time I felt, I would take the precautions to make sure someone didn't see me.
No, and you've already done that.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure that you did that. So you have the 12 doses with you. They're on your they're in your control at this point, whatever you want to do. Other than setting up, you're going to meet each of the people in your office. There's going to be quite a few in and out talks with your assistant chief. She starts to slowly warm up to you. Not by any means quickly, and she still is... You don't think it's anything against you directly. As she's disgruntled, she was passed over.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that.
So, is there anything dealing with the thrust side of things that you're going to do before getting into the work at hand?
Not necessarily. I already have the names that I'll need, so I think I have technically 12 days that I'll be at.
Okay. Is there anything that you're going to try and specifically shake up in the office? I mean, running smoothly and shaking things up are not the same thing.
Yeah.
Running smoothly, you could easily get that done.
No, that's my goal. My goal is to get this place, running a bit smoother. The message from my daughter, kind of gave me, I would never admit it, but a pep in my step, I mean, it was nice to see. And it's good to know because I haven't, talked to her in 2 years, so I don't know. Yeah, so I mean, my goal right now is to kind of just try and get things, in order because clearly it has not been.
Right.
I have a mission. I have something that I feel is within my control of actually doing when I just spent the last, day or so completely out of my control.
Right.
So trying to, regain a foothold and, trying to make sure that I have a secure place. I need to secure my base.
So first thing first, secure your office, set it up the way you want, which you do. Second is to set up the greater office itself. As you start going through the day, more and more you start realizing that you probably should be blaming what's going on here on either the lackadaisical attitude of your predecessor or the fact that nobody took control after you left, which you could lay on the assistant chief. But as you're seeing, she very much enjoys routine and accuracy, and the more you put those things on, the more she seems to warm up to you and be comfortable.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. And so, I don't necessarily want to come in and just start a fight with everybody. I'm just getting them in shape, and if they can't fall in line, then we'll have a problem. So if she's happy, then I'm happy too.
Okay. So as the day burns on to early afternoon, you will get a call into your office from Abrams. Again, not going to be one that just one of your front office. Abrams hollers back, "Hey, Marshall, I've got a Miss Elaine Corrigan out here from Elgar Plastics. Apparently, she was called in requisitions of some sort, providing for the office here. Should I send her back to your office?"
Yes, go ahead and send her on back to the office. So I've got it kind of in a sort where it's not just god-awful.
Yeah, your crap's not lying around everything, of course.
Yeah.
Basically, the way I envision the bed is not a Murphy bed where it slams up into the wall, but actually slides under. Mm-hmm. So you can set everything once you make it, which you would. You can set everything on the bed, and it just disappears in the wall and is covered up.
Excellent, perfect.
So She comes to your door, knocks on it, waits for you to let her in, unless you're standing in the doorway waiting for her.
Nope. I'll once she knocks, I'll come open the door. Miss, you said Corrigan.
Corrigan.
Miss Corrigan, very nice to meet you.
And she walks right up to you, hand out in front of her, Elaine Corrigan, Elgar Plastics.
Take it and shake.
So, Marshall, I have understood that you are looking to reset the office, bring in some new equipment, just kind of give it your own, and she looks back at the door, your own twist. Do you know you don't have your name on the door yet?
Yes.
We can take care of that at absolutely no charge.
Really now?
Absolutely. So, I do want to warn you a little bit. There are some unscrupulous corporate types that would come in and take advantage of a new marshal in these environments. And I want to assure you that Elgar Plastics respects your job and what you do for the people of this colony. And our trade with you is this: if you were to bring us on board and allow us to provide you with the absolute tip-top service, in return, we would give you everything you need, and you would be giving us the ability to show the people of this community, Andy's Drop-In and New Dallas in total, that we are the corporation of choice for all of their needs. What do you say, Marshall? And she's got a gorgeous painted-on smile.
Now, just for player me, this is another corporation as a whole that's trying to come in, not in association with Seegson.
Oh, dear God, no.
Okay. At first in my head, I thought that Bateman had sent this person over, and then I was like, oh, wait.
That's a legitimate thought.
Yeah.
In fact, do you say anything to that matter?
No, I think the marshal would be smart enough to figure it out. Even though I'm dumb. So I'll say, well, Miss Corrigan, do you happen to have some literature that you can give me so I can peruse it?
I can do you one better if you will stand with me. And she gets uncomfortably close for you if you have that personal bubble.
So I'll come up and I'll put my hands on my hips, just and lean back a little bit.
That allows her to move back because she realizes she's in your space.
Yeah.
She is very cognizant. So she pulls up from her right hand side a very slim pad. She pulls the pad up and says, "So Marshall," and she looks at you for a moment and then thinks better of something. She shakes her head and then she'll hold it up and she will very slowly turn around, do a full 360. Very shapely woman. And she wears everything perfect to show it off. And she will not be overt with it. But if you were somebody that allowed your eyes to move at all, she is making sure that you see everything, not just on her pad. So when she finishes, she says, so this would be my idea. And she switches from two hands to one. She puts her one arm into your looped arm on your hip, just puts her arm there and holds it. She says, walk with me. Let me show you your office of the future. And do you step with her?
Yeah, sure.
She'll give you the little pull. So she takes you on a walk of one step forward, turn, one step back. But she has the entire office. And what's happened is she's basically transformed the office on this. She says, Marshall, and she gently pulls her arm from inside your hook, a hook of your arm. She says, let me show you even more. I mean, you can see this is the office of a marshal that's going to be taken seriously. She says, but come with me. And she goes to your door, which opens because going out, it just opens for motion. And she says, watch this. And so she takes this. Now she is filming the inside of the marshal's office where the people are. So she's taking a scan.
I'll say, all right, now hold on now. Go ahead and stop doing that right now. This is.
She sets it down. She said, Marshall?
I understand you're trying to show me something, but this is a marshal's office, and there might be some sensitive documents that.
Oh my gosh! I didn't even think. And she looks over, and you have a couple of perps in the office already, along with the workers. She's like, I'm aghast. And she's got the blush look already. Oh, she's just so embarrassed.
And
she kind of pulls her collar a little bit too much, and just kind of, I'm so embarrassed, Marshall. Should we go back in your office? I'm so sorry.
Yeah, let's go. We'll head back in. Oh shit.
All right, so
actually, at this point, because she's already showed me some of the office of my future. So at this point, I'll look at her and say, "Well, Miss Corrigan, I appreciate you coming down here and showing me my possible office of the future. Do you have yourself a card? I need to. You know, there's all kinds of processes one has to go to.
I do. You have to requisition from the colony. Your marshal's office has to approve us. I can assure you." And she hands you the pad. She says, "I can assure you that all of that has already been begun." Elgar Plastics prides itself on requiring the least amount of work for you for the most amount of benefit for you.
Well,
all of my information is right here. You just tap this little green heart right here.
She's giving this.
She's giving the whole pad to you.
Okay, I'll say, well, this is a modifying gift right here. Just right this, and I'll push.
You push the pad, and it comes up. It is a total photo shot of her face, smiling at you. She is very good looking, and all of her information to the side. And 2 lines are lit that all you need to do is touch them. One is effectively her email. The other is effectively a phone number.
I'll say, well, this will come in mighty handy if I need to get a hold of you.
Oh, I'm sure that you will, Marshall. Thank you so much for your time. If you need anything, dinner, possibly, I am here.
Well, that's very kind of you. I appreciate it. Let me go ahead and walk you out to the door. Let me walk you to the door. See you on your way out.
So do you walk her to the front of your office or the front of the building?
I'll walk her to the front of the building.
All right. And along the way, she's kind of telling you, and what I envision here, Marshall, and she'll actually, if your arm is even a little bit away from your waist, away from your body, she will slip her arm into it.
I'm a gentleman. I'll let her do it.
Okay. And she'll say, Marshall, we could go with slate gray here. We could accent and blue steel here. And she walks you out, just kind of envisioning. And she knows her stuff. As she's speaking, you're kind of, it would fit. It's a good idea.
Oh yeah,
right?
I'm looking and I'm taking mental notes. I'm like,
that's a good idea.
That would look good over there. Would really accent this. Yeah, whatever.
As she gets to the front, she gently removes her arm from you. Her hand, as it comes away, just brushes your forearm for a little bit, little longer than needs to, and then pulls it away. And she turns to the man who's sitting up front. She says, "And that was that Marshal Abrams, Deputy Marshal Abrams?" And Abrams kind of, "Yes, ma'am." She says, "It was an absolute delight to see you today. Thank you so much." And she walks out. Just as she's getting in the door, she looks over her shoulder and winks at you, Marshall. Mm-hmm. And she walks out. And Abrams is looking at you and looking at her and looking at you.
I'll look down at Abrams as she's gone out of earshot. I'll say, "Yeah, you don't gotta be a seasoned detective to understand that that's a snake in the grass right there."
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Abrams, was it?
Yes, sir.
It's good to meet you.
Yeah, and you too, Marshall. Welcome.
Keep at the good work, and I'll pat him on the shoulder as I walk by.
All right. So, Dr. Langtree, you finished the walk through the facility. The facility is top-notch. You expected 30% less than you're seeing here. 2 med pods, not just one. There are enough triage rooms. Now, the qualm that you have is, with this much here, how much is going on? Like, how often are we using all the triage rooms and the med bays or the med pods, and the quarantine rooms? I mean, good Lord.
I would ask that question.
Okay. She says, well, in the initial time with the initial setups, there was a lot that happened. Weyland-Yutani was very forthcoming with money for us. So we were able to set up a lot. At this point, one of the biggest things that we collect our income from is the military base. USCMC uses us instead of requisitioning their own. I mean, they have very capable med techs, but for the bigger stuff, they're brought here. And I can assure you, Dr. Morrison, your evening watch, he is very capable, can do his stuff. He can be a little stiff-lipped, but he is a seasoned professional as well.
I actually had the privilege of working with Dr. Morrison last night.
Really, your assessment of him then?
Capable.
Agreed. And she seems to be warming up to you. It's been a couple of hours doing the walk, doing the talk. She brings you in. She'll show you some of the patient records. As you guys are coming out of one of the triage rooms, and she's just shown you a couple of the new additions that she's set up to move things quicker, there is a call over. Dr. Kamari, triage room 2. She says, please. The two of you go in. There is what looks to you to be basically some kind of a transport med tech there, and Fred Jones is there.
Jones, the land surveyor?
Mm-hmm. He has a wrapped head, and he is laying down. He looks a little bit green, and the med tech says, Doctor, and Kamari says, this is Dr. Langtree. She's going to be taking over for me in the next week. He says, ma'am, very pleased to meet you. Mr. Jones here is a 40-year-old male. He is presenting with symptoms connected with, I assume, concussion. He has been nauseous. I haven't yet understood what happened, but he was brought in with bleeding to the back of the head. We are assuming some form of blunt force trauma. And Dr. Kamari says, very good, doctor. And the med tech leaves.
Okay, and I'll approach and, hi, Mr. Jones. It hasn't been too long since I saw you last.
And he kind of focuses in and tries real hard to focus a second time, and his pupils are not dilating correctly. And he looks at you and says, Dr. Elizabeth?
What's going on?
Seems to be completely wrapped and confused.
Sure. Yeah, what happened to you, Fred?
Not really sure. 1 minute I'm going into the office. Next minute I'm on the floor in well, he tells me it's my blood. I thought it was water. I assumed I slipped. I got a frightful headache.
Okay, and I'll begin an examination on the wound site.
So go ahead and give me your medical roll, because we're going to get him some health back. Because presently he's broken.
Oh, poor Fred. Okay, so it's been hours, so my stress is gone then.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay. All right, I got 2 successes.
All right, so you're able to bring him back, clean things up. You're fairly sure that he was struck. It's possible he slipped and fell, but the way the damage is done to him, you're pretty sure he was struck from behind almost assuredly, struck from somebody taller than him.
Okay, that was my next question. Okay, and I'm going to say, Fred, where were you when this happened?
The office. I think I had just, I had just come in. And he kind of looks for a little bit. He says, "What time is it?"
I'll tell him.
11. What the?
Are there security tapes at your office?
No. I mean, I don't think there are. There shouldn't be. There wouldn't be a reason for them.
Who did you?
It's 11 o'clock.
Yes, Mr. Jones.
I went into the office at 8. How long did I lay on the floor?
Who found you?
I don't know. The nice gentleman in the white coat's the one who started talking to me. I think I was in some kind of a transport. I think it was in a vehicle. I think it was in his vehicle.
Is the medtech still in the room?
No, the medtech left, but he probably is not out of the facility yet.
Okay. So I've already doctored Mr. Jones.
Yes.
All right, and I'll ask him to excuse me for a moment,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm gonna go and ask the medtech who called in Mr. Jones.
So Dr. Kamari will walk out with you. She's standing back watching you take charge. So the med tech will tell you, oh, well, we got a call from the neighbor, Williams, I think it was. We got a call that Mr. Jones looked like he had fallen and cut himself. The neighbor was there with a shirt held to the back of his head for the bleeding. I and he tells you what, clinically what he did. I did this and this, wrapped the wound and all this.
In this situation, would you typically make any kind of report, or?
Would I? Yes, actually, and yes, he would. He says, yes, I'm doing that right now, but he said he slipped. I'm just doing a cursory report for our records. Did you want something else?
No, that's sufficient. I was just wanting to understand what's going on. I'll thank him for his time, and then...
And he gets back to... you thank him, and he's right back to finishing the report. So the med tech is called from here to go out and come back.
Okay, and then, I would just chart Mr. Jones and then pass him off to a nurse.
Okay, and so Dr. Kamari nods her head and said, I think you're going to do just fine here, Dr. Langtree.
That means a lot coming from you, Dr. Kamari. Thank you.
Absolutely. So let me hop over now to the Sarge. So Sarge, you guys are all suited up. You guys are effectively on the beach. The drop ship is still down. It's where you guys did your change. Once done with change, flight officer is going to ask you, do you want us to stay grounded? Do you want us to stay over the water?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, over the water.
Okay.
Can they take us, drop us in where
Well,
the cliffside is?
Yeah, you can either
don't need to
swim there or
wade in there.
Yeah.
How far away is it?
Oh, it's maybe 15 feet out to the water. You're going to fly. Yeah, you're going to fly out there.
Oh,
you're going to
15
swim
feet,
out
no,
there.
we're gonna
15 feet, you can swim out there. But yeah, he can take you over and drop. He says, we'll stand here.
All right.
You just keep us up. He will tell you.
I'd get off the surface. There are things running around out here.
Very good, Sarge. No problem. Hey, I want to let you know we are still having issues with something here. He said, so if you check in, we're not leaving you. If you don't get through to us, move to another spot and keep pinging. He says, if I want you checking in, remember this is a superior. He says, I want you checking in every 2 minutes.
2 minutes?
What?
He's telling you. I want you checking every 2 minutes. And the reason is because they're worried about communication.
He's a warrant officer. He's a pilot. All his job is to do is to fly that plane.
Yep.
He don't tell me when to check in. I tell him when to be there.
So he's hovering for you guys to drop in.
All right. If it's 15 feet, we just swim.
Well, where you're parked is probably 30 feet down to the water, and then 15 feet in the water, and you're swimming down. It's not an extreme amount, but you told him to get off land, which he's doing.
I want to maintain that same level of quick response, a 15-second response time to the surface of the water.
He understands. So for you, go ahead and give me a mobility roll. You guys are now in enclosed stuff, but you still have the ability to talk. The weapons, I'm assuming, are all closed in. So, obviously the standard rifle shooting casings is not going to do a whole lot underwater, but...
I've got one.
All right. That one is good. So I want you guys to remember, a single success, almost always, except in a competitive role, a single success is going to get you what you want. So there's no need to push unless there's a reason you want to get a greater success for a stunt. There's really no reason that you guys need to push. I want you guys to think in terms of, we are professionals. Now, me as the game master, I may periodically not know what your professional response or ability would be because I haven't done everything on the planet. But you guys are consummate professionals at what you do. You are very good at what you do. Yeah. So you guys take your swim down. Yeah. Boom, 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 boom. All lights come on the helmets, and you guys are moving in. The motion tracker, Navarro says, they're not moving yet. He says, no, wait, and you got the track up. So you're also finding Perkins' track there as well. And it's not moving either. Right. And for the first time, it's not jigger-jagging around. It's one space and staying there. So you guys swim into, it's real quick finding the cave. You guys swim in, you swim up. As you come up, you break water. None of your Marines go much over the eye level and
come up all special.
Right. On the downside, you got lights.
There's a luau going on.
Right. It's not that anyone else is going to see it. Right. You do see an area that's ahead that comes up, but as everyone is scanning light in here, this cave must periodically fill up at least halfway with water. It doesn't look like the top. It looks like the top is moist but not doused. Okay. But it looks like it definitely there's some motion that pulls more water in here, be it tides, probably not, or something else. But that's not something you would necessarily know. But seeing it, you guys see that. Right. As you come in, you guys finally come to rock, and you guys will make your way up on rock. So first thing Staff Sergeant says is, Sarge, we keeping helmets sealed or not? Conserve air?
Well, I mean, since there's air here, I don't think we need to.
All right.
Yeah.
So as you release yours, you hear a couple of the others that were just after you go,
Yeah.
and they open up, which basically turns off tanks. So at this point, you guys are looking in and back. So you're looking into what looks like a water carved out oval. At the back of it, there is a cave, and the cave also looks like it's been carved in some fashion, possibly like a lava tube. Although it's not
It's a natural erosion. It's not.
Yep,
Okay.
looks like natural.
Okay.
As you guys start moving, Navarro, now you guys are in a single file with Navarro at the front. Where are you and where do you position Biggs?
Biggs is at the back.
He's full back. Got it. Are you second to the back or somewhere else?
And we'll probably go, instead of single file, we'll probably go 2 by 2.
Not wide enough.
Oh, it's not wide enough?
That's what I'm saying.
Okay. I'll be... there's a total of 5 of us, right?
There's a total of 6. There's 4 Marines, you plus Biggs.
Okay. So I'm going to be Biggs in the back, then me.
All right. So, yeah, that's where I assumed, but I wanted to ask. All right. So as you guys are going in, Navarro is keeping you up on it. You guys can hear when no one's talking besides your quiet but crunch on the stone floor. You guys can hear drips all over the place. They're not loud, but you're definitely hearing them as they echo through this thing. So Navarro stops, hand up, says, Sarge, I've got a split in the cave up ahead. He says, I think I've got wind coming from the left side. It's weak, but I'm fairly certain of it.
We'll go left then.
Okay. He hasn't dropped yet. He goes, I got a smell. Sarge, it smells like the inside of the rig. So Biggs will ask again, so what rig?
We'll talk later. Right now, our mission is to secure Perkins.
Navarro lowers his hand, starts walking in. You guys are now hearing the chime only for the motion sensor. You're only hearing it in your ears.
Right.
You're not hearing it outside. He has switched that up so it's not making noise in. You still have your lights on, and there's still light from that device. As you come in, Navarro stops again, hands up. He says, Sarge, Perkins should be up ahead about 2 meters just over that crest there. He said, but I got, what'd you call them, Biggs? Biggs says, Sigarans? You got Sigarans. We got the Sigarans moving this way, too. They're moving slow. They ain't running at us.
Secure
They're moving
Perkins.
this way. So Navarro stands to the side. Stevens and Coombs run up, kind of go over the hill. And Stevens says, oh, shit. Coombs goes, Sarge, it ain't good. And you guys are all moving up. What Navarro did was step aside so the motion sensor's still going. Right? So as you guys all come up and get lights on him, he is torn up into pieces.
Who? Perkins?
Perkins is.
Right.
Now, it doesn't look like they took the pieces out of the armor, so in a lot of cases where your armor ribs, that appears to be where it's torn. Now, you know tensile strength for most of this armor. Something tearing that, even on a wedge, even if they're starting to slice, that's some good strength. You probably could do it, if you did a little knife nick to start it. But that's some strength to tear it apart.
Ballistic armor, so.
Yeah, it's a good
hard,
amount.
yeah.
So go ahead and give me, I'm going to say a wits observation. Basically, I'm asking for you to remember something. Okay. So I think wits observations can be what I'm going to go with.
All right. I've got one.
All right. So the stack of Perkins, you think looks like the stack of meat, similar to the way it was inside of the rig.
That stack of meat was much bigger.
Oh, good God, yes.
Okay. We'll take the stack of Perkins.
Okay.
All right. We'll secure the parts.
Okay.
And we're going to move out.
All right. So you're in a position where you guys, I would not imagine you would have carried a body bag in here. So
No, we will pick up the parts.
That's what I was going to say. All right. So at this point, nobody's saying a word, but nobody's thrilled about doing this. I'm assuming you're not either.
It's not an option, yeah. We just have to
All
do
right.
it, yeah.
So is there anyone that you have not picked up basically 2 handfuls, armfuls?
Okay, when we say,
He's cut up in, I would say, chunks. So let's say there's a head, there's a torso, there are 2 arms, there's a lower torso and 2 legs. So 2,
really just
3,
need
4, 5, 6, 7 parts.
everyone grab 2 pieces.
Okay.
Right.
So of the 6 of you, everyone's grabbed. Well, so who do you want to grab? Grab 2 because you got more than you need. Everyone can grab 1. Who's going to grab 2? Let's do it that way.
Biggs, grab 2.
Got it, Sarge. He does not. He's not in his normal. Yeah, cool. Hoo-ah. He's like, yeah, got it, Sarge.
Fuck my
so
life.
he grabs both of them. All right.
It's got 2 arms.
So the rest of you guys all have a single arm up and a single arm carrying a piece. The pieces are ragged. They're not dripping blood. They are moist, so they're dripping something,
They're just
probably more
dismembered,
water.
Right, and we start to move out, and I'm going to try and radio to the Baird, say we've secured Perkins, and we're going to need immediate extract.
So there's a squawk, again, squawk,
So communications are garbled because probably how far underground. We're going to start moving back the way we came.
Okay. So as you guys
Quickly.
are moving back,
Yeah.
you guys are almost at the opening, and Navarro says, "Sarge, they're coming!" And you can hear outside of the helmet, you can hear a thump, and you hear 2 guns work into hands. 2 hands, not single hands.
Right.
Go ahead and give me an initiative roll.
We're doing initiative?
Oh, that's not an initiative roll. Oh, that's right. Here, would you hand down those guys? I'm going to have you draw 1 for you. I'm going to have you draw 1 for the Marines.
All right, so this
different
is me.
ones.
8 and 1 for the Marines. 4.
Okay. And for the Sagarans, they are going to come up with a 9. So 4. You guys, as soon as he hollers, you have eyes on them. There are 4, and they move extremely fast. They have that funny kind of seal waddle, but it looks like they are solid enough that seal waddle is a fast forward momentum, and they are coming right at you guys.
Ugh. Wait, I want to hear more about what they look like up close.
So as you're seeing them, that skin, that gray skin, and it is definitely a dark gray, almost charcoal color, that gray skin is modeled similar to the inside of the cave. So they would, if they had the ability to stand still, could very easily be camouflaged. In a number of spots, they will have little divots. Nope, wrong direction. They'll have little raised bumps on them. You're guessing it's some kind of maybe barnacle or that type of thing, but it gives them even more of a look of the interior cave. If they were not moving, you might not see them. The face, there are 2 eyes, and they are very human-looking eyes. There are a pair of slits, which at the right angle probably look like they could be a nose, and then there's a small mouth of sharp teeth. Their front hands are not hands, but actually little grippers or pinchers. And you know that there is some capability, they can do something with those, because Coombs was damaged by them. And Coombs will say as they're coming in, he's going to go, "Avoid the pincers, they cut deep." So, what are you guys doing?
The Marines are first, right?
Based on the card you draw, I think so, yes.
Yeah, so I just want to look at the incinerators, because we have 2 of those.
You do?
Yep. Incinerator unit, here we go.
What about their human faces? Human-like faces? Were they human-like, or were they like...
They're human-like.
So they don't have like protruding noses.
Correct.
They have flat
Correct,
slits.
but they have a flat space, but because of if you were to angle it, it would look like there's a bit of a small nose.
All right.
Are the eyes peoply, or are they?
Very.
So it's logical to conclude that they are indigenous and not bioorganically created.
Improbable that they are bioengineered, but
Bioengineered,
possible.
Yeah.
There's a very good chance that they are some kind of indigenous, and I don't remember who's been talked to about them, but someone was talked to a little bit about them.
I think I learned a little from.
You did. Okay, so you know that they've been here since they came here. Go ahead.
As a free action, I'm just going to say light them up, you know?
All right.
All right, so I'm going to let the Marines with the incinerators go first. Are the 4 close together?
Close is a relative term. With the flame spread, I'd say you'd be able to hit 2 for each.
All right, so I've got 2 incinerators, so each Marine's going to try and hit 2 of them.
Okay.
All right.
So what you are doing is the equivalent of the burst fire thing, where you're able to hit a second target.
Okay.
All right. And did you need a raise to hit the second target? Is that how that worked? I've forgotten. Yeah, it's called burst of auto fire, and it had benefit for the ability that allowed you to hit a second target.
Monsters having people faces is just a different level of scary.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and these guys objectively are supposed to be scary.
And so are these from the source book?
No.
Oh,
No,
very
this
original.
This is something that I made because I wanted to have a bit of a twist for what's going on in the rig.
So how many dice am I rolling for the Marines?
The Marines are 3 and 3. They're going to be 6
Okay, 6 dice.
with that device.
If you don't mind, can you take one alive for me?
Hey, get right on that, Lance
No
Bateman.
particular reason.
All right, so I believe.
Yeah, okay, so here's the way it works.
All right.
You're not going to have the stress level go up. You're not going to get the +2 modifier. But what you're going to get is each additional success after the first. So if you get 2 successes, you will hit 2 creatures.
Okay.
Otherwise, you're going to hit 1 for each.
All right. Well, I've got 1, 2.
So 2 on the
There you
first one, and the other Marine,
All right, so the other Marine,
and then you're going to just roll damage for the whole thing.
and I've got 2 on the second one.
Perfect. So you will hit all 4 of the creatures. What is the damage for the flamethrower?
The damage is 2, but they all now catch fire with fire intensity 9.
What does that mean?
They catch fire intensity 9. So let's see.
They never hurt anybody.
Typical fire is intensity 8. When exposed to fire, roll a number of base dice equal to the intensity. For every hit rolled, you suffer 1 point of damage. Armor can protect you. If you take damage, you catch fire and continue to burn and suffer another attack at the start of each new round.
Okay, so next round they will be on fire, getting another roll against them.
The intensity increases by 1 each round. As soon as a fire attack inflicts no damage, the fire goes out by itself.
Perfect. Actually, that's a great rule. I really like that.
That's clever.
If you are broken by fire damage or suffer fire damage when already broken, you must make a death roll every round until you die, or
the fire goes out.
Medical roll.
Roll until you die.
So they're going to take 2 damage.
Right.
Next
round they'll be taking a 9 dice roll.
Yeah, so I'm going to roll 9 dice for every hit. They take a point.
Next round.
Yes.
And if you don't do anything, it goes out.
So your first 2 Marines have taken shots. You still have 2 more Marines and Biggs.
So once you're on fire, you just get
so the other 2 Marines are going to fire their pulse rifles.
Okay.
We're going to do the same thing. We're going to try and do the burst thing.
All right. So you will be +1 stress. Oh no, because there's no stress on them. I'm going to let you do the burst, but without the bonuses. So as a player character for you guys, when you do a burst fire, it's +2 to the die roll, but you add a stress to yourself.
Okay,
I'm not going to give them
sense.
the modification, but I'm going to allow them to do the extension because they're trained Marines.
Well, one of the Marines is like, who ordered fish sticks, right?
right, exactly. Right, I'm sorry, I missed that. Okay,
So you're just rolling their standard rolls.
Right, first, I get an extra die, you said. So I have 1, 2.
You should be 6 dice for them. Biggs is 7.
Well, so I get...
Just 6 total. You said add another dice. You have
thought
6.
it was a bonus.
No, because they can't get the stress, I'm not going to give them the bonus. That's what I'm saying. For the Marines, not for you, but for the regular Marines. You're going to get 6 dice.
So I got hit, so that's 1.
Right. 1 got a single hit, and what's the base damage?
2.
Okay. I'm just going to... Actually, I'm not going to have you roll for all of them. That's kind of silly. So you guys will run through them. Basically, you drop them as burning husks, and they're still kind of burning as they drop. So all of them have taken a shot. Now, the burst does not empty the clip.
No.
Okay.
Do they make any noises?
Yeah, so when you fire them, there's that kind of that squeal. It's almost like a pig sound. All right.
That's awful.
There's the roar of the pulse rifle, which
smell
is
like
quite appealing to me.
people.
Right, and that pulse rifle shot is gonna end the noises pretty quickly.
All right.
Navarro then quickly pulls the weapon back down, pulls out the motion tracker, and says, "Sarge, there's still 2 more."
Yeah, we keep moving.
All right, and so everyone's
We
starting
deal
to
with
pick
them
up.
as they cross our path and try and prevent us from.
Everyone's
towards
starting
our
to pick up
objective,
their
which is
meat
good.
pieces.
Yeah, well, we shouldn't have dropped them.
Weapons.
One-handed.
Okay.
Yep.
Fair enough. You should.
No rule says you got to fire with 2 hands.
There's
All
no.
right.
Remember,
Well,
kids.
they all pick it up, and
Rambo in that shit.
Briggs is gonna
Flamethrower.
Briggs is gonna grab his 2, and you guys start making out. So you get out through the cavern, you get back into the big cave. You guys are in the water. At which point, drop it. You guys are back talking inside. As you guys are coming out, Navarro says, "Yeah, I'm nervous, Sarge. If I was capable like they are, this is where I'd go." And he's kind of spinning around because the motion tracker's not going to work down here. He's clipping that off.
You're not nervous, you're Marines.
That's right, Sarge. Hoo-ah! And they all do it at the same time. You know that. You guys make it out of the actual cave, and you're out in open water. At this point, we're going to keep same initiative rolls, and incoming, you guys are going to be you are going to get surprised or ambushed.
Well,
now,
we're on alert, so we know they're in the area.
Right, exactly. But they are coming out of dark water with your beam lighting up a specific section. So the question is, do they succeed actually at ambushing you?
Right.
And that is not something I know how to do yet, so I'm going back. Okay, so I'm going to have you give me an observation roll. They are going to make a mobility roll. Depending on how close, you guys are all at short range.
Nope, I don't have any.
You get a modification.
Yeah, we'll go
See
ahead and
the
push it.
table. If you want to attack,
I mean,
close
I feel like
combat,
it's worth
Yeah, I think it's kind of cool. Uh-oh.
That's a 6 right there.
I'll
Dave.
take it. So many ones. All right, cool.
There you go.
I've got 3.
The 4.
Oh, and a whammy.
Over there.
Okay, so
Oh,
go ahead.
I've got 4 hits and a whammy.
So go ahead and give me your stress roll. I don't think it's going to be an issue, right?
7. I'm good.
Oh, wait, 7 does something.
Well, I thought it had to be more than that.
No, 10 replaces it.
Oh, no.
7 up or something. So 7 is you get a nervous twitch. Your stress goes up by 1.
All right, no problem.
Basically,
but I also
you-
have 4 hits.
Yeah. So basically, you are concerned just like Navarro. You are Marines,
I'm not
but
concerned.
something's there.
I'm alert.
So-
There's a difference.
But for sight, you guys, you're going to see the whole group.
Okay.
So you guys have 6 coming in at you, kind of from all sides. So we're not going to change initiative, obviously. I'm going to start with your Marines.
Okay, Marines are gonna drop.
I'm going to assume weapons. I'm still going to assume that weapons do the same damage underwater.
Yeah, they still work underwater. Yeah.
Okay.
This is outer space.
Flamer's not gonna work underwater.
Right. No, and
But,
they're not going to be that dumb.
But what we're gonna try and do here is
And you can talk, so you can command potentially.
right. Yeah, I don't need to command. They know how to engage.
So, is the pulse rifle a 2 or 1-handed weapon? Are there negatives for using it one-handed? Because I imagine there are, but I'm not telling you there are.
I don't believe there's a rule that designates either way. It's just a weapon.
Okay.
Right. Not that I know of.
Well, they're going to be badass right now. We'll check it later.
All right.
If it ends up being different, the next time they
Yeah,
won't be
not
so
that
badass.
I've read, not that I remember. You know. So, how close are we to the surface of the water?
You're guessing you are about 15 feet straight up.
Oh, 15 feet, and I can move how far in an action?
Well, you can move 1 distance, and you would be moving 2 to get to the surface. So you can move half the distance effectively up.
So we move half the distance up,
So you,
and we're gonna take shots.
all right. So you guys are moving and shooting at the same time.
Yeah,
Okay.
because that's as far as we can move, right?
Right.
So we're gonna move as far as we can.
And the move is the, just going back to slow and fast actions. No, I'm going to have you guys move at this point because you're not at close range. You're not at engaged range yet.
Okay.
So yeah, you guys are going to move and shoot. So your move is your fast action and shoot is your slow action. You
Yep.
guys get 1 of each. So let's start with the Marines. Remember, I'm going to have you roll all of the regular Marines at 6, but then I'm going to have you roll for Bigs separately at 7.
All right.
Now, are they again on full auto?
You know what? No. We're gonna fire a controlled fire, 1 target.
All right.
Hoping to kind of scare them off, you know, as we
Gotcha.
blow a few of them apart in the water. And if their blood might cloud
So are
the
you
water.
doing concentrated fire on like you pick 2 targets, take them out?
No, each Marine's gonna fire at a different target.
Gotcha.
All right.
All right.
First one. I've got no successes, so
Okay.
I'll go ahead and push the roll.
Can't push for somebody without stress. So you just they're just standard Marines. You're just going to roll.
What do you mean I can't push?
You can push for yourself. The Marines cannot because they don't build
suffer
stress.
stress.
Right.
All right. So the Marines all miss. Is that what we're saying?
You know what? I'm going to have you do it separately because that's terrible. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Second Marine,
All right, second Marine. I've got 1 hit.
third Marine,
All right.
base damage 2. Correct.
Yep. Third Marine's got no hits.
Okay,
And
fourth Marine.
fourth Marine. He's got 1 hit.
All right. Biggs has 7 dice.
Biggs got 7 dice.
Does Biggs have stress?
No.
Biggs got no hits.
All right, and then you.
And then me. So, all right. So I've got range combat 2 plus 4, and I've got weapon specialist. So that's 2 more dice, plus my 3 stress dice. All right. All right. Well, there's a whammy. I've got 2 hits.
So 2 hits. Are you putting the extra to damage? I'm assuming.
Yes. And let's see what I get. All right. So I rolled a 1, so I've got 4.
Okay, so the second part, which we have not been doing up till now, I believe the second part is when you roll a 1, it affects, if I remember correctly, it affects different categories. One of them would be your air, which isn't going to matter in 15 feet of water.
Right.
But I thought the clip can go. Do you remember?
The clip.
Yeah. When you're rolling, when you make a panic roll in combat,
Oh, right.
For
We
a
drop
weapon.
something. But I only rolled a 4 total, so nothing should happen on a 4.
I thought I'm going to look because I thought that was it. So hazards.
Oh,
Freezing.
and on my panic test, I'm -2 because I have level head nerves of steel, so I'm actually
Nice.
down to a 2. So my panic roll's a 2. Forgot.
And so what's your stress right now? It's 3.
My stress is 3.
So
And I rolled
that's
a 1.
cool.
So,
Awesome.
yeah.
That's a cool feature.
Yeah, that was a cool talent that I took.
I gotta look at those.
That's pretty nice. Yeah, I got 4 talents. That's what I spent all my experience on.
Yeah, they're the most
talents.
fun. Yeah, you can add your. You can
Yeah,
add.
I have more stamina now, than I did. I had 3, now I have 5.
5.
I'm going to look at one more place, and then I'm going to give up and not worry about it. And I'm going to try and remember to read it. Ammunition was page 96.
What's it say on the panic test for 2?
For an actual 2, 2 to 6 is 1 to 6 is nothing.
That's what I'm saying. So nothing happened on the panic test.
No. But what I'm talking about, here we go. Whenever you fire a weapon and roll 1 or more alien on your stress die, you have emptied your magazine after the attack. You need to reload. So your weapon is emptied. You will do damage, which we've done the damage. Now you will need to reload, which means basically taking a clip off.
All right, so there's 3. So that's 3 damage.
Yep, I got that.
Okay.
So then on their initiative, if I have damage, the only time it affects me is at 0, right? If you have damage, it does not reduce your ability to attack.
No.
All right. So
Once you're at 0, you're broken, though.
right. So Coons, what is the armor value for your armor?
It is reading 6. So I get 6 dice.
Wow.
So resisting every hit reduces the amount
Gotcha.
of damage that they do.
So
Military grade body armor.
for
You get some of
Coons,
that.
go ahead and give me a 6 roll. This one has 4 total damage.
Okay, so I've got
Does Seegson
1.
have a good?
So that's going to take 3.
We have a
Oh,
bulletproof
shit.
vest.
All right.
That's a lot of damage.
That is a lot of damage. So Coombs, that was out of 6 dice, right?
Yep.
Okay, so Coombs is broken.
Okay.
All right. So then I'm going to go Stevens.
Okay. None?
And Stevens has none on him. And then we've got Navarro.
Are they all being hit?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, all
But
right.
the
I've got
aliens
one.
come. You have 1, and they have no hits. And then who else we have? We have Biggs.
We didn't break any of the creatures, right?
Not
The
yet.
Gunfire.
No. Biggs, you don't have to roll because he took nothing. And who am I missing? Oh, Brooks.
Oh, and me.
Brooks, nothing. And then you, nothing.
Okay.
Wow. So, but Coombs gets hit, and everyone will hear him yelling. So, your microphones
He's the one that
shut
told
off at
everybody
the
to watch
high
out.
end, so that you're not piercing everyone's eardrums. But
Right.
you hear him go off and get cut. It's basically like. All right.
I
so
told you guys to watch out for that.
back to you. You are moving again. You can move the finish to get up.
Yeah, we're gonna
But
finish.
Coombs is going to need help.
Right, so I'm gonna spend instead of firing, I'm gonna spend my slow action to help Coombs up to the surface.
Got it.
He got last time, right?
Yeah.
He's the one, yeah, and that's that's funny, but that's exactly what I was thinking. Go ahead, Dave, and wound Coombs for me. Critical injury is 2 6-sided dice.
All right.
Read them however you want.
Wound him well.
It's gonna be 53.
Okay, that was a bad cut to his leg. I mean, it's bleeding bad.
All right.
All right, so you're going to go help Coombs.
Yep.
Everyone else is swimming to the top.
Yep. And then we still have they can still fire.
Right, so Coombs and you are not firing. Besides you two, go ahead and give me your shots.
All right. So we got the Marines.
So we're going to go Stevens.
All right. Stevens is going to we're gonna do the burst
Okay,
to try and suppress him.
all right.
All right. So
So the burst means if you get a second,
Right,
if
I
you
can
get more
carry
than
it
one
over.
hit, you can hit multiple.
I've got 1. So I've got 1. So that's
Okay.
another 2 damage.
Good.
Same one that I earned before. All right.
And Navarro,
Navarro 1.
okay.
So that's
and
2 damage.
Biggs,
Biggs has got an extra die. Biggs sucks. He didn't hit anything.
and Brooks.
Brooks has got 3.
Oh, wow. All right. So, and it's 1 for each, right? Or does it,
No, each one I can do. So
you can
it's
hit
2
another
damage. I can do
one.
4 damage to 1, or I
Or-
can do carryover. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do 3 damage to 1 and 1 more damage to another one that was wounded.
Two more damage, right? Base. It's always base damage, right?
Yeah. So I've got
2 on one
oh,
and
you're right.
3 on another.
Yep.
Wow, nice work. So, though you're not going to really get to see it, Brooks is kicking butt.
Yeah.
All right. So you spent your action. You're going to grab. So I'm going to effectively give them a morale roll. And they are thrashing around you guys, but they are not moving into attack.
Okay.
So now you're out. You're like, where the hell's that? Where the hell's my drop ship?
We got 15-second response time. Yeah.
All right, and he's down.
Okay. They're coming in.
Yep,
All
they're
right.
they're down there. Well, there's no they. There's just the pilot. So your first man in is going to be big.
Should have a co-pilot or yeah.
I was thinking about that. Yeah, all right. I'm gonna give you that. Should have a co-pilot.
Yeah.
So you guys are getting pulled in.
They got lines that are dropping into
Yep.
the water. All right.
So Coombs is in. You guys are out of the water. I don't know if you want to do anything else to the critters. It's still day. I mean, it's not like it's dark or anything.
Everyone's out.
Everyone's out of the water and
All right.
in. Coombs is bad. He is still yelling. He is bleeding everywhere.
Brooks is a medic.
Right. So you throw Brooks
take
in.
action. Yeah.
So Brooks is going to give me a 5-die roll.
All right. I'm gonna push it. Can I push it?
Cannot
I
push
can't
it.
All right. I got nothing.
All right.
Nothing.
So he will have one more roll.
Of 5 dice.
Oh wait, no, he can't.
direct
Once you
medic
tried
roll,
once. So he's like, someone's got to help me. So, do you have medicine? You're the only one I'm
medical
allowed
aid.
to.
I don't have medical aid skill.
All right. So the medical aid skill ties to empathy. So go ahead and give me an empathy roll. Remember, you got your stress
I
dice.
got my stress dice on this one. I got 3 of those bad boys. Wish me luck. No whammies and no successes, but I'm gonna push it.
Yep, you can do that.
All right. Let me just add one of these.
And see, this would be an interesting
Bad
place where
mana
you
gem.
push it because every success gives you more healing.
All right. Well, I've got a success and I have a bad guy. So,
Yep.
but oops, when I rolled a 6 plus 4 is a 10 minus 2 is an 8.
Phew, God. Because at the 10, you lose the action and don't save it.
No, it's an 8. It's an 8.
It's an 8. No, I'm saying, but
because
at the
of my
10,
talent.
you would lose him. All right. So, oh, please be Scream. Darn it. I was hoping it was going to be Scream because that would fit perfectly. All right. So, once you get him there, you're going to be -2 to all skill rolls from this point on. This is too much. You are better than this. You shouldn't be having men go down. You're just kind of trembling. You're out of it. No new stress or anything like that. But you got him stopped. You got him healed 1 point.
Okay.
So he is no longer
Stable.
broken.
All right.
He is stabilized, but he is going to need medical attention.
Well, that's where we're going, I'm assuming.
All right. So, yes. All right. You're good. So then flight back. As you guys are coming in, the warrant officer is going to ask you, what are we doing? Are we flying right to the...
Medical.
Flying right to medical?
Right to medical.
All right. So, I'm going to really quick hawk back and let Dr. Langtree know your medical facility gets called and Rose will ding over the thing. Dr. Kumari, Dr. Langtree, to the front, please. And you can see that she's now not sure what she's supposed to be doing. And as soon as you get up there, Kumari says, I think from now on you can call Dr. Langtree in. I will assist. What do we have going on, Rose? And she says, I just got a call from a panicked Marine. Somebody's got a massive laceration. They are bringing him in hot. And Dr. Kumari says, oh, I guess I'm going to get to show you the upstairs facility. And you guys will head up. So, Lance Bateman.
Yes.
You have that meal with Miss Corrigan.
Elaine Corrigan.
Yes.
Elgar Plastics.
Now, it's your choice to tell me if you guys have had a dalliance before. There's definitely that play. You're both good-looking people and very full of yourselves.
I mean,
But you don't have to have.
let's say, we probably crossed paths at some conventions in the past. Maybe had some
Exactly.
drinks, got a little hot and heavy at times. It's not unlike Lance Bateman. So.
Does Bateman call them back the next day?
No.
I didn't.
So then my question is this. Has it happened more than once?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. She, amongst executives, she is one of the better looking ones in
Without a
Lance's
doubt.
Black Book. So Lance Bateman's Black Book.
So my question would be this. With her there, you're not sure what's going on, but would you play for a role?
Well, I'm interested to see what I have a feeling I know why she's there. I mean, it's a prime colony for wheeling and dealing. And,
Absolutely.
Lance Bateman suspects that she's there doing her thing, trying to make a power play. So if anything, while they do get along at times, they're also cutthroat competitors.
Sure.
And so, that's one of the reasons he agreed to go down, so that he could make sure that she stays off some of the area that he staked out in the colony for
Well,
future
Pillow
plans.
Talk is one of the places where you have always felt you've been the most successful. On the downside, she is probably similar in capability and scope to you. So, question I've got is, do you want to end the luncheon in yours or her room? Or do you want to allow the step, and maybe that would be another time?
In the past, if she's responded to that, then I'll play her game if that's what it is. But
She has. You
Lance
guys,
has
again, we've
better
already
things to
said
do in
you've
his mind,
done
but,
this a few times.
Yeah,
There's
what's-
nothing
what's
negative
another
right
time.
now.
So he'll see what she has to say. If she wants to be like in same as in the Marshall's case, then he'll kind of play her game a little.
Okay. So if it leads to it, Lance Bateman has no trouble ending up somewhere. Here's the question.
Mm-hmm.
Your room or her room?
Well, his room is fine because he'll use the excuse that it's just the boys at the office playing pranks, and that's why his room is what it is, so he can play it off.
All right, so what I'm going to have you guys do, because the lunch goes great, she's fairly straightforward on why she's here. It's exactly what you thought. You are not both only playing for the Marshals. You are kind of playing for Andy's Drop and New Dallas.
You do your deals, Elaine, but you stay away from the medical bay and you stay away from the Marshal station. I've been working on those contracts for a while, and you know Seegson will undercut you. We will undercut you until it's not profitable at all for you to do it, because whatever you can do, Seegson does cheaper.
So go ahead. You guys are going to end up back in your room. She will comfortably laugh. She'll say, well, that's cute. Your boys are like that. Which bed are we going to destroy? Go ahead and give me a manipulation roll.
Oh, that is my
we were trying to figure out if the...
See who does who.
Well, no, we were trying to figure out if the banging roll would be a mobility check or a survival check.
Survival.
We're trying to figure it out.
All right, so this just
command.
This is Elaine Corrigan. It's survival.
Survival.
It'd be a command roll, right? Either do what she says or attack her.
The more stunts you get, or the more excesses, is the less damage to your body you're gonna have. Less
manipulation
scars.
roll works the same way. So, what do you have for successes?
All right, manipulation. So,
Come on, bro.
all right, and stress. The stress.
Oh, you
count.
don't have stress anymore unless you purposely want it there.
No, it's stressful.
No. I am pushing all these ones and twos.
Yeah.
Oh my God! No successes.
Well, my last roll I rolled 33 dice and I got 2 hits.
Right. Okay. Do add a stress.
Yeah.
Is this I swear this never happens to me moment?
No, we're pushing.
It
literally doesn't
You
happen.
didn't add a stress die.
You got to roll a stress die.
You got to roll a
'cause you
stress die
pushed
on
it.
that one.
There you go.
It's that alien. All right. Now you get to add a second stress.
What do we got?
So now I push.
Oh my God!
I'm very cunning. That's what I do.
You're like really worried you're not gonna be able to perform.
No, this is for ulterior
He's
reasoning.
just like
this is
snorting,
not about
like-
performance.
There's that alien.
Yes.
There's that alien.
Do you think Lance Bateman cares about her in any way?
No.
All right.
Okay,
So
So 6 and an alien.
6 successes.
Stay
All right.
away from my.
Go ahead
from
and
my
give me a
turf.
die roll.
it.
You're at 2, so you need to roll a 4 or less.
All right, 4 or less. 1.
All right, so you totally keep it together. You know, she's kind of getting the better of you as you're like, oh God, not that you're worried about your position in the company, but you are kind of worried about getting out of here sooner than later. And
yeah.
that puts you at that uncomfortable position. But
Got work to do.
Yeah, with 6, she has 1. Do you want to look at the stunts?
Oh, I know them.
The stunts.
I know those things. So in this case, yeah, she's going to be very impressed, and she will help me out at a later point.
Okay.
You have to do
She
extra
is not
damage.
going to ask a favor in return.
All right, she's not going to ask a favor in
She's
return.
gonna do more than required.
She's going to do more than required.
And she's gonna show off, and you're gonna show off to impress her. No, we don't have to make this roll
Oh,
like
boy.
before. Yeah. It's pretty funny.
Very good. So you do believe that you come to some level of understanding where she's willing to stay away from the main marshal's office, assuming he doesn't. She lets you know, I have a meeting this afternoon. It would be improper of me to cancel it. If the marshal doesn't come through, of course I will. If he comes through, I'll give you the chance to undercut us. But honey, I don't think you're going to be able to do it on this one. But I will stay away from the medical. And
Marshall and I actually have terms. We struck him last night over a drink, so I beat you to the punch on that one.
Okay, all right. Well, then you have nothing to fear. She says, as far as the medical, I will stay away from it completely. And she doesn't get to ask you for one in return. So everything you want.
As you know, the colony will be in much better hands with Seegson's medical equipment.
Okay. And with that, with Lance Bateman finishing the evening in one of his nice twin beds, we'll close the episode there.
Having a cigarette.
Can Bateman please keep me out of his mouth while I'm undressed?
Are we not doing phrasing?
Oh yeah.
Thank you for listening to another NCRP Productions podcast. To stay on top of everything we're doing, you can follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and like us on Facebook, all at NCRP Productions. You can show your support and help us continue to produce content by joining our Patreon. We offer additional podcasts like our B-Sides, and have GM materials, maps, and other fun things you can discover over time. You can find our podcasts on YouTube, Anchor, Spotify, Apple, Google, and many other fine podcast sites. Just look for us at NCRP Productions. We value your thoughts, so please don't hesitate to leave us feedback or comments. And if you would like to contact us directly, you can email us at ncrpproductions@gmail.com.